There you go. I like that pose. Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. As you probably just saw, I was opening it for the first time. Fast forward so I don't bore you. So, yes, a couple of things I want to say about the figure. There's a couple of things that are cheap about it. And I just had a little look at the peg hole situation. I just went running through to the other room to see what would work. I had this one available to use. That, if you've ever seen these at ProTech, I think, they have got a kind of a fat head. See what I mean? The tip is very fat and it's wide. And same with these ones. They're like that as well. If you're familiar with these ones, I like those stands as well. So I went through to get an Ian's display accessory one, which has got, it hasn't got a flat top, is the best way to describe it. It hasn't got a flat top. It's got, well, actually, no, I've changed my mind. It has a bit. I thought it was kind of more pointed or curved, but it's not actually. It's kind of, yeah, it's slightly narrower, but I've just pulled it off the peg there, as you could see. I'll put it back on the peg. Now, the peg holes are in the toes, but they're still not very deep. So look at that. The other nitpick I've got with it is this backpack is very cheap. There's not much weathering on that or anything. Barely any paint touch-ups. In fact, I'm going to put him back on the stand while I show this to you. The rest of the finish of the figure is fantastic. Oh yeah, this peg stand's a bit better. Look at that. That's deeper. How about that? So I've got a choice of 3 stands here. And that's the best one. Look at that. It's a bit more plugged in. I like that. How about that? So it's good to have a variety, ladies and gentlemen, of stands. And that one's working out really well. Now, the finish of the figure is fantastic. I'm really glad I did something the other day. I was on Disney Plus, and I think I've seen these before. It would have been years ago when I last watched the full Clone Wars. I think I went through the whole lot in that lockdown of 2020. But I was like, before I did this review, and this one's been in the pipeline for a long time. Let's just go handheld. It's been in the pipeline a while, this, and I've been looking forward to opening this one, and it is a lovely figure. But I was like, who the hell are they again? Is he the main guy? He's a Super Commando? Was the main guy the other guy with the horns on his head? Well, I kind of realised these were just the general grunts, and the guy with the horns on the head is obviously a captain. So that was fine, but I was like, thinking to myself, I don't really know what to say about him, because I can't remember what they do. But on Disney Plus, they've got a Mandalorian playlist, which is brilliant, or Mandalorian culture. And I thought I'd have a watch of that the other day. And lo and behold, one of the episodes is these guys. I knew they were related to Darth Maul. So when Maul takes over and there's all the politics with him and Vizsla, these guys swear allegiance to Maul. And Obi-Wan Kenobi's in one of the episodes in disguise. He takes over one of these guys, except they deliberately make his armor different. He's got like more of a red helmet, Kenobi. And that's just so you can differentiate who's who. Although his helmet comes off before long. Look at that, man. Come on, Jango Fett next, please, Hasbro. These guys are the ones who swear allegiance. So I've got more than one, ladies and gentlemen. I've got all these. Look at that. These are all the same thing. I didn't mean to get so many. I accidentally bought too many because I lost track of my orders. And then Star Action Figures have this sale on, so I bought even more with them. Although the ones that arrived from them, barely any damage to them. Look at this. That tiny crease there. What a bargain. $5.95 or whatever it was. So if you, in the year 2023, at the time of the making of this video, I think the sale is still on, but get on there quick, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a great deal that Wayne is doing at the minute. So that's where I got a few extras. Good army builder. And that is it. The only thing I really wanted to say was I want to talk about that blaster. It's crap. Other than the backpack. We'll look at the backpack again in a minute. Here's the card back. It might be a bit dusty because this has been in a box for a while. Card back image I don't really like. It's quite, I don't know, it doesn't do the figure justice. The figure and the character, that Mandalorian, look at that, it's badass. And that's just, it looks a bit narrow. It looks like that, ironically, it looks like one of those old removable helmet Jangos that you could get. And even the Boba Fett VC243, you know, the helmet would squish a bit. But there's the figure in the bubble. Lovely armor, isn't it? You can't go wrong with that. They obviously are rinsing this mold dry, but they need to give us Jango. Wouldn't it be ironic, bloody Hasbro, if they didn't do Jango Fett? You've got to. You clearly want to. You're doing all this other stuff with the mold. And then I was talking with Tim the other day. We were talking about what do they need to do Django. I think they've got enough stuff. The amount of Mando stuff they pumped out to kit bash something together. Look at that weather in there. That's good. So what's going on, Hasbro, with the weathering on these blasters that's got nothing on it? That is a shame. You let yourself down there because it's a premium line of figures. And usually you go to town and do things like that. You'll touch up a bit of, a little bit of that carbonized paint would have worked a treat. But the gauntlets are good, and the crotch thing, what do you call that again? That's all good. The legs and everything are great. But the backpack, nah. I mean, he's going to be facing away, but that's a shame, isn't it? This could have been my figure of the year. I hadn't opened him, had I? So that's why I only did one figure of the year. And Vader, because we all love Vader. But of all the Mandalorian figures we've seen so far, this one's visually is impressing me. Although I like the Tamora Morrison Tatooine one from Book of Boba Fett. That was a good one. And I haven't opened yet the other... Lost the focus. The Clone Wars... The other guy from the Clone Wars. The Death Watch Commando. The other faction. So there's two factions, Reds and Blues. Some of them are loyal to Bo-Katan. These guys are loyal to Maul. So get onto that playlist if you want to learn a bit more. Because, The Mandalorian, when you watch that, it's such a good program, and it's very, very slow, lovely pace, and you don't get lost with the lore. But there's all this other stuff going on in the Clone Wars, and it goes at 10,000 miles an hour. You can kind of easily lose track of who's who. It's like you've got Mandalore, the pacifist, and the warriors on the moon, who's who. And then you start from scratch almost with Mandalorian, and you learn about a different faction, and then they introduce all these sort of people from Mandalore in season 2. And they talk about, you're not true Mandalorians or whatever. Oh, you're the ones who don't remove your helmet and all this. And it's like laughing at them in a way. But anyway, happy 2023. This is technically the first video of the year. I haven't done any videos since New Year, just circumstances. But that's my thoughts on this figure. Lovely figure. Shame about it not being top-notch weathering. The pegals actually work better on this one. Maybe that's because they're quite tall, them. I don't know. But there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts. The back of the card back is this. What is it, 243. There's the back of the card. I think I've done everybody on here now except for him and that guy. And yeah, Din Djarin there. Awesome. All right, thanks for watching. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.